What if I told you that those dark spots you see on your skin could be warning you of a health problem much more serious than you imagine? Many older people believe they are just age spots, simple marks of time. But the medical truth is that they can be warning signs indicating that your cells are no longer regenerating correctly. And the worst part of this situation is that the longer you go without treating them at the root, the more difficult they become to eliminate. Hello, I am Dr. Cezar Villarreal. Today I am going to show you a simple step-by-step protocol designed to reduce age spots without the need to use expensive lasers that are often painful or harsh chemicals that thin your skin. Only using natural remedies activated with the right science, you could recover smooth and glowing skin in a very short time. But I need you to stay until the end because I will reveal a crucial detail, a secret about the combination of ingredients that almost nobody knows and that can multiply the results of the entire treatment. For you to understand the power of what we are going to talk about today, I want to share a story I will never forget. The story of a patient named Isabel. Isabel was 73 years old when she came to my office with her eyes full of sadness. I remember the exact moment she sat in front of me and took off her gloves with extreme care, slowly, as if they weighed tons. She showed me her hands covered in dark spots and told me with a trembling voice, "Doctor, I feel like my hands are no longer mine. They look like those of an old leopard." That phrase stayed with me. She confessed to me that she no longer wanted to greet anyone, that she was embarrassed for people to see her wrinkled and stained hands. Look at me now. Does that feeling sound familiar? That need to want to hide what makes you self-conscious? Isabel had spent a lot of money on laser treatments. They promised her quick results in 3 sessions. But after 6 sessions, and with her credit card maxed out, the spots had barely lightened a little. The frustration was evident. However, a few weeks later, applying a natural method, something so simple that costs less than a cup of coffee, her skin changed completely. When she returned for her medical checkup, she came in smiling without gloves and showed me her hands with great joy. Her skin looked younger, more alive, and on her face there was a peace that no expensive treatment had given her. That day, I understood that sometimes the simplest and most natural can be the most powerful. Before explaining the science behind this, I would like to know if you know of any case of someone close to you, or perhaps yourself, with these typical spots on the skin. Tell me in the comments what you know about this topic. I love reading your messages, knowing from which country or city you are watching me, and answering your questions, because that is what this space is about, accompanying you on your path to better health and well-being. And please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you will not miss any of the upcoming videos where I will continue sharing vital health tips for you. Now, let us get down to business. Today, I want to explain step by step the same 5-stage protocol that I used with Isabel. This method has already helped many older people reduce age spots naturally. But first, I need to ask you an important question. Have you noticed that new spots appear on your skin from one day to the next? You look at your skin and think those spots were not there yesterday. The statistical reality is that about 87% of people over 50 years old have these spots that doctors technically call solar lentigines. And here is the key you must understand. They are not simple signs of the passage of time. They are warnings that something deeper is happening within the skin. Think about it like this. Every time solar radiation touched your skin when you were 20 years old at the beach, or at 30 while walking to work, or at 40 taking care of the garden, your cells were storing memory. The cells that produce the natural color of the skin are called melanocytes. They were activated to protect you. But over the years, those cells lose their order. They start releasing pigment irregularly. Imagine an old printer that loses control and starts leaving ink stains on a white sheet. That is exactly what is happening under your skin. We call this age-related melanocyte dysfunction. I, however, prefer to call it an opportunity, because when we understand that the mechanism is a broken printer, we also discover how to fix it to recover its natural luminosity. Science backs all of this. Visible skin aging is not only due to the calendar, but to accumulated sun damage. And the most hopeful thing is that even that damage, although it may be decades old, can improve visibly with the right habits and the right actives. I am not talking about covering up the spots. I am talking about regenerating. From this moment, I will guide you step by step. I'm going to explain 4 natural actives that anyone can use from home. But be careful. because there are common mistakes that 9 out of 10 people make that prevent them from seeing real changes. If you stay with me until the end, I will share a facial drainage technique and a realistic week-by-week calendar. The first step of the protocol that transformed Isabel's hands may seem too simple, almost impossible to believe. But I assure you that when you understand why it works, you will never look at this oil the same way again. Let us start with the silent giant. The first thing I told Isabel was something that many older people still remember from their mothers or grandmothers, but that modern medicine had unfairly forgotten: castor oil. Yes, I know what you are thinking. That thick oil with a peculiar smell that was used for almost everything and that many kept at the back of the family medicine cabinet. When I handed her a small bottle, Isabel looked at me in surprise and said, "Doctor, does this sticky oil work for that?" And the answer is a resounding yes, but not by magic, but by pure biochemistry. Castor oil contains about 89% ricinoleic acid. This is not just any fatty acid. Many researchers have spent years studying why this oil manages to penetrate the skin when others, much more expensive and lighter, stay on the surface. The secret is in its molecular structure. Ricinoleic acid has an additional oxygen and hydrogen group that acts as a true molecular key. This key opens the way to the deeper layers of the skin. While most cosmetic creams barely act on the surface, castor oil has the physical ability to reach up to 7 layers below. And it is right there in the depth where the melanocytes are located, those printer cells we talked about before. When those cells get out of control, they begin to release excess pigment, causing dark spots. Ricinoleic acid helps dissolve the protein bonds that retain that old pigment, and at the same time stimulates what scientists call accelerated cell renewal. Put simply, it helps the skin repair itself from the inside without aggression or irritation. But here is the real secret of Isabel's success. It is not enough to have the oil. The key is in how and when it is used. 90% of people fail because they apply it as if it were body lotion. I will explain exactly the Isabel method. She applied it every night around 8:30 before going to sleep. This is crucial because the skin begins its deep biological repair process between 10 at night and 3 in the morning. Applying the oil before that period prepares the ground. The amount must be exact, only 3 drops. No more, no less. Excess can clog pores and reduce absorption. And here comes the expert trick. Instead of applying it cold directly from the bottle, warm the drops by rubbing them between your fingers for about 10 seconds. This reduces its thickness, makes it more fluid, and activates its molecules, facilitating immediate penetration. Always use the ring finger for application because it is the finger that exerts less pressure and is the gentlest with aging skin. Apply with light taps like a gentle drumming without rubbing or stretching the skin for about 30 seconds on each spot. This micromassage stimulates what in dermatology we call percussive absorption, increasing the penetration of the active by up to 60%. Isabel left this on all night and in the morning washed her hands only with warm water without soap, so as not to remove the natural lipids. In just 3 weeks, the spots on her right hand had decreased by almost 40%. It was not a filter, it was not a light trick, it was more uniform and real skin. A very important safety warning before moving on to the next ingredient: always use cold-pressed and hexane-free castor oil. Those sold in cheap commercial pharmacies are often extracted with chemical solvents that irritate the skin and nullify the benefits. Always look for a pure vegetable version, golden in color and dense in texture. Now, if castor oil was the silent giant of the treatment, the second method we used is the precision strike. I am talking about a simple formula that has transformed the skin of thousands of my patients, but that is extremely potent. It is a combination that you probably already have in your kitchen: fresh lemon juice and raw apple cider vinegar. Isabel called this mixture her liquid miracle. But again, there are no miracles here, there is chemistry. Lemon juice contains between 5 and 6% natural citric acid. This compound acts as a biological exfoliant, helping to eliminate dead surface cells where oxidized melanin accumulates. For its part, raw apple cider vinegar, that which has a cloudy appearance at the bottom, contains acetic acid, which regulates the pH of the skin and reduces the activity of enzymes that stimulate new pigmentation. When these two ingredients are combined, what researchers at the National University of Cujo described as synergistic depigmentation occurs. Basically, each acid enhances the effect of the other, managing to break down excess pigment much faster than if you use them separately. The result is visibly clearer skin, closed pores, and a rejuvenated texture. However, I must make a dramatic pause here. This natural remedy is so potent that if used incorrectly, it can be dangerous. In fact, there is a fatal mistake that many people make with this mixture, and that can leave them with permanent stains or burns if they do not know what they are doing. In the next part, I am going to explain the nocturnal safety protocol. I will tell you exactly which days of the week you can use this acidic mixture, how to neutralize it so that it does not irritate you. And I will introduce you to the third ingredient, a plant that pharmaceutical companies tried to patent unsuccessfully, and that acts as the perfect protective shield for this treatment. Do not move, because what comes next is the difference between damaging your skin or renewing it completely. Let us pick up exactly where we left off. I told you about the mixture of lemon juice and apple cider vinegar, that depigmenting bomb. But I warned you that there was a hidden danger. And this is where I need you to give me your full attention, because this detail separates success from a chemical burn. Never under any circumstances should you use this mixture during the day. Lemon juice contains substances called furanocoumarines, or sortilins. These compounds are photosensitive. If you apply lemon and then go out in the sun, even if it is just to hang clothes or walk to the mailbox, a chemical reaction called phytophotodermatitis is triggered. This can generate even darker spots than you already have, or even serious burns on the skin. That is why this treatment is exclusively nocturnal. And to do it safely, follow this nocturnal depigmentation protocol to the letter. First, a frequency. Do not get too excited. Apply the mixture only 3 nights a week. I recommend my patients do it on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, never on consecutive nights. Your skin needs those rest days to process the acid and recover. Second, the exact preparation is squeeze 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice, forget the bottled one that has preservatives we do not want, and mix it with 1 teaspoon of raw apple cider vinegar. I insist on raw. It is the one that looks cloudy because it contains the living enzymes and the mother of vinegar that enhance penetration. Third, the technical application. Soak a flat cotton pad. Do not use a cotton ball because it absorbs too much product and wastes the mixture. Press gently on each spot. And here comes the timer. Leave it on for exactly 10 minutes. Not a minute less, not a minute more. Use your phone alarm. 9 minutes are not enough to break down the pigment, and 11 can start to irritate your skin unnecessarily. After the 10 minutes, run to the bathroom and rinse with plenty of cold water to stop the acid reaction. Immediately afterwards, and this is vital, apply pure aloe vera gel. This calms, rehydrates, and prevents any redness or peeling. And speaking of aloe vera, this is our third protagonist. We come to the third method, which is without a doubt the jewel of nature. If castor oil and the lemon mixture are the builders, aloe vera is the architect that repairs everything. I am going to tell you something that few people know. This plant is so powerful that in the year 2018, a large international pharmaceutical company tried to patent it to include it exclusively in its luxury depigmenting creams, but they failed. Why? Because you cannot patent what nature has already made perfect. Many think that aloe or sabila is only good for sunburns, but modern science has discovered that it contains more than 75 active compounds. Among them, there is one called aloine. Aloine is a natural depigmenting agent so potent that its use is strictly regulated by the European Union in cosmetics. It works by inhibiting an enzyme called tyrosinase. Tyrosinase is the factory that produces melanin. By turning off this factory, the skin stops generating excess pigment and begins to recover its original tone. I remember the case of Tomas, a 67-year-old patient, a former military man. He came to my office skeptical, tired of spending money on creams that did not work. I recommended that he apply fresh aloe vera every morning. 6 weeks later, he returned, smiling, and told me, "Doctor, I have not seen my hands this clear since I was 40 years old." But just like with lemon, there is a right way and a wrong way to use sabila. If you do it wrong, you can get irritated, Here is the secret of extraction. Cut a piece of about 5 centimeters from an outer leaf, preferably from the most mature and old ones, which are those that have the highest medicinal concentration. Open it carefully and extract only the transparent gel. Be careful. Avoid at all costs the yellow liquid that comes out just below the green peel. That is called latex. Although it has a lot of aloe, it is too strong and can irritate sensitive skin. We want the crystal, not the yellow liquid. Once you have the gel, mix it with 3 drops of vitamin E oil. This step is a professional trick. Vitamin E prevents the aloe from oxidizing, turning brown, and adds tocopherols antioxidants that reinforce the lightening effect. Apply this mixture every morning on clean skin. Let it act for 20 minutes and rinse with warm water. This creates a protective barrier that will enhance the work done by the castor oil the night before. Now we have cleaned, we have depigmented, and we have regenerated. But nothing, and I repeat, nothing of this will work if we fail in the 4th step. This is the point where most people throw all their effort in the trash. I am talking about sunscreen, the true guardian. I will tell you an uncomfortable truth. If you do not apply sunscreen correctly, it is better not to do any of the previous steps. It is useless to repair the skin at night if the next day the sun destroys the work again. It is like trying to dry the floor while the tap is still open. Many people think that sunscreen is only for the beach. Fatal mistake. After the age of 50, your skin produces 75% less natural defense against UV rays. That means that the same skin that protected you at 30 is now as fragile as a sheet of paper against the sun. You need a broad spectrum SPF 50 sunscreen. Look for ingredients such as zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. And avoid perfumes which only irritate. But the mistake is not the product, it is the quantity. How is it applied? Use a full teaspoon only for face and neck. Yes, it seems like a lot, but if you apply less, the real protection drops dramatically. And most importantly, reapply. Isabel, my patient, told me, "Doctor, I only do gardening, I do not sunbathe." One day I showed her skin with a special ultraviolet light camera. She was shocked. After a single afternoon in her garden, the invisible spots forming beneath the surface were visible. Clouds only block 20% of radiation, the rest keeps burning you. So the rule is simple. Every 2 hours, if you are outdoors or near a window, you reapply. So far, we have covered the external strategy, castor acids, aloe, and protection. But did you know that there is a 5th element? There is something you must introduce into your body. Because true skin health, that luminosity that does not go away with washing, begins in the liver and in the blood. In the final part of this class, I am going to reveal the exact morning drink that I gave to Isabel. A mixture of kitchen ingredients that blocks melanin production from within. And I will show you the results calendar, what will happen in week 1, in week 5, and in week 12. Do not leave, because we are going to connect everything learned to transform your health forever. So far, I have shown you how to repair the skin from the outside with castor oil, the lemon and vinegar mixture, aloe vera, and sun protection. But now we come to the most important point, the one that makes the difference between skin that only looks better and skin that truly regenerates from within. And I want you to pay attention because this step is the one that almost no one mentions. Healthy skin does not start with a cream, but with your diet. You can use the best products in the world, but if inside your body is inflamed, if there is excess sugar stress or nutritional deficiencies, the skin will reflect it. What happens inside the body is seen outside as in a mirror. Remember something, the skin is a living organ, the largest in the body. It shares the same blood, the same nutrients, and the same oxygen as your heart and your brain. Therefore, if your blood is loaded with toxins or lacks antioxidants, the skin will not be able to repair itself even if you use the most expensive treatments. When Isabel returned to my office weeks after following the external protocol, her results were amazing. Her hands looked younger, the spots much lighter, and the overall skin tone more even. I asked her, "Isabel, what changed besides the creams?" And she smiled and replied, "I only followed exactly what you told me to drink every morning." That simple morning habit was the key to activating her liver, balancing her pH, and reducing excessive melanin production from within. I shared the exact recipe I gave Isabel. Take note because this is medicine in your kitchen. You need 200 milliliters of warm water, never hot. Add the juice of half a fresh lemon and 1 tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. And here is the secret: add a very small pinch of black pepper. Black pepper is not there for taste. It contains piperine, a substance that multiplies by 20 times the absorption of curcumin, the active principle of turmeric. And curcumin is vital because it blocks the enzyme tyrosinase, that same one responsible for the formation of melanin that causes dark spots. Drink this mixture 30 minutes before breakfast every morning. I assure you that in less than 3 weeks, you will notice your skin brighter, more even, and with a healthier tone. But let us not stop only with the drink. I want you to know the 5 stain eraser foods that you should include in your diet. First, salmon, natural source of vitamin D and omega-3 that stimulates cell regeneration. Second, Brazil nuts, small but powerful. Each contains about 90 micrograms of selenium, a mineral that reduces melanin production and protects from oxidative damage. Third, red peppers. They have more vitamin C than an orange, essential for producing collagen. Fourth, cooked spinach, rich in folate, which repairs DNA damaged by solar radiation. And fifth, green tea contains polyphenol antioxidants that reduce inflammation and slow excessive pigmentation. Remember, this skin without spots is not achieved only with what is applied, but with what is fed. Now, there is an accelerator that many people overlook. Isabel not only followed the complete protocol, she also incorporated something unexpected: lymphatic facial massage. She told me, "Doctor, every time I massage my hands with the oil, I feel the spots disappear faster." And she was absolutely right. The lymphatic system is the body's waste channel. When we break down old melanin with lemon or castor, that waste needs to be expelled. If there is no good drainage, that melanin can get stuck, making the process slow. That is why I recommend doing it every night after applying castor oil. It is very simple. With your fingertips, make gentle J-shaped movements from the center of the face to the sides. Then slide your fingers from the wrist to the elbows, from the chin to the ears, and from the ears to the collarbone. 2 minutes are enough. To finish this masterclass, I want you to have realistic expectations. I am not going to lie to you by telling you that this happens in one night. Here is your results calendar. During the first 2 weeks, your skin will begin to feel more hydrated and the tone will become more uniform. Between the 3rd and 4th week, you will notice that the spots begin to blur around the edges as if they were being erased. In the 5th week, the difference is already visible to the naked eye. Texture improves and skin looks smoother. By the 7th and 8th week, your family and friends will notice the change and will surely ask you what you are doing. And finally, between the 9th and 11th week, the spots will have been reduced between 60 and 80%. Your skin will look firmer, brighter, and more rejuvenated. After 12 weeks, I recommend switching to maintenance mode. Apply castor oil 3 times a week. Use aloe vera every morning. Keep your diet clean, and please do not forget sunscreen every day. I remember that Isabel 8 weeks later told me something I will never forget. "Doctor, I no longer hide my hands. Now I show them with pride." And that for me is the true victory. Because it is not just about aesthetics, but about recovering confidence, joy, and vitality. Your skin can renew itself. Your body knows how to do it. You just need the right tools. If this knowledge helped you, give this video a like right now. Share it with someone who wants to eliminate their spots naturally. And I want to see your commitment in the comments. Write the phrase, "I want to start today." Remember that transformation begins with a single step. I am Dr. Cezar Villarreal. Thank you for trusting me with your health. See you in the next video.